क्या आपको पता है कि एशिया का सबसे अमीर इंसान एक कॉलेज ड्रॉप आउट है and that he built his fortune from scratch? Adani Enterprises is now India's biggest coal trading company, biggest coal mining contractor and biggest private airport operator that owns 7 airports. Adani Green is the world's largest solar power developer. Adani Transmission is India's largest private sector transmission and distribution company. Adani Total Gas is India's largest city gas distribution business. Adani Power is India's largest private thermal power producer. And Adani Wilmar is one of India's biggest oil brands. But ये सब हुआ कैसे? क्या इसके पीछे उनके skills थे या उनके political connections या फिर दोनों? Wait till the end to find out. और अगर आपको हमारा कंटेंट अच्छा लगे तो डोंट फॉरगेट टू सब्सक्राइब टू मैशबल इंडिया। गौतम अडानी ने सेकेंड ईयर में ही ड्रॉप आउट कर लिया था इन 1978 while studying bachelor's in commerce to go to Bombay to work as a diamond sorter for Mahindra Brothers. बट कुछ सालों बाद 1981 में ही he went back to Gujarat to work at his brother Mansukh Bhai Adani's new plastic factory. Towards 1998, he began venturing into infrastructure, the construction of ports and plants. Liberalization के समय, Gujarat wanted to build more ports, and to accelerate this process, it decided to manage new ports as joint ventures of state and private companies. And in 1995, the managerial outsourcing contract of Mundra port was awarded to Adani. This port was Adani's nucleus and watershed for expansion, and one could say that it made him what he is now. He started setting up all of his other businesses around that port to save money in logistics, be it power business, edible oil or mining. He began setting all of it up around the port. Mundra port actually started being successful after Kandla port's downfall in the year 2000. Kandla port is a government-owned port in Gujarat and they dug their own grave when they rejected P&O's offer to set up a container terminal. So P&O then went ahead and did that at Mundra port and infused equity. अडानी जानते थे कि चाहे बिजनेस हो या वॉर, जो भी लॉजिस्टिक्स हैंडल कर रहा है उसी के पास हर सिचुएशन में अपर हैंड रहेगा. सो ही इन्वेस्टेड 12,000 crores to connect the port to the railway line for more logistical convenience. Today it's the biggest privately owned port. This is where he started his coal trading, which he expanded into thermal power generation. It became a special economic zone around 2003 to 2004 and Adani became its industrial customer. Adani is an expert at turning the odds in his favor. In fact, on the 20th of April just this year, owing to the droughts and the Ukraine war, Indonesia had to stop exporting palm oil and its raw materials. And given that India is its biggest importer, the FMCG stocks here took a huge hit. But Adani Wilmar stocks shot up by 5% to hit an all-time high. How did that happen? So, palm oil is the world's most widely used vegetable oil, and in India, even though it's not commonly used in the kitchen, most of your FMCG products contain this oil, including cosmetics, soap, shampoo, biscuits, and even toothpaste. Now, the catch is there are 4 subtypes of palm oil: refined, bleached, deodorized, and crude. All the types except crude were banned. So the refineries in India became the beneficiaries of this ban, which is how edible oil refinery stocks such as Adani Wilmar and Ruchi Soya shot up during this crisis. जब एयरपोर्ट्स अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडिया ने 8 एयरपोर्ट्स लीज किए फॉर पब्लिक प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप्स, अडानी took up the management of 7 of them, namely the Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Jaipur, Lucknow, Guwahati, Thiruvananthapuram and Mangaluru airports. अगर आप इनके बिजनेसेस को देखें तो आपको पता चलेगा कि they're mostly infrastructure centered or such that would require a lot of permissions, a lot of signing of contracts, be it in India or abroad, which is what brings me to his connections in the government, for which he receives a lot of backlash too. He has seemingly shared a very good relationship with politicians in Gujarat, starting from Chiman Bhai Patel, who was the CM in 1993 and gave him land at the rate of 10 paise per square meter, to Modi, who sold him 5,000 acres of land at the rate of rupees 15 per square meter. The government officials have been seen flying in Adani planes frequently, which brought them a lot of flack. This mutually beneficial friendship was set in stone around 2003 when the Confederation of Indian Industry refused to invest in Gujarat owing to the riots, and other business tycoons condemned Modi in their hosted event, whereas Adani took a massive risk and chose to be on Modi's side. He later helped set up a summit called Vibrant Gujarat, which enabled Modi to be seen as a pro-business leader on a global level. But ऐसा नहीं है कि Adani will stop being as powerful if the BJP does not get re-elected. He just knows who to create and maintain ties with at what time for his own businesses to prosper and succeed. For instance, in 2010, he wanted access to the coal in the Galilee Basin, the biggest coal mine in Australia, but transport was an issue and Adani needed $14 billion to figure out the logistics. No bank was willing to give that loan because he would build a railway line on the Great Barrier Reef, which would damage a lot of biodiversity, and there was a huge protest against that. Later, news came out that despite no assistance from banks, he still managed to build a mine as he started on a small scale with his own investment of $2 billion. And when it comes to approval, right before the Australia elections, Adani brought the ruling government on his side and got the required approvals. But there's one matter of contention in all of this, which is his valuations. The price to earning ratio helps us figure out if a stock is overvalued or undervalued. And if we look at the PE ratio of Adani companies, we'll see that they've increased rapidly very recently. The 10-year and even the 3-year average is drastically lower than the current ratio, which means that the price is definitely rising, but the earning or profit isn't rising as much. And usually we see that such high PEs don't last for too long in the market. For example, Adani Green had the highest current PE ratio as compared to its 3 or 10-year averages, which is also why it rapidly fell in this bear run. But then again, the bear run didn't make a massive difference in Adani's market value. So either he's invincible and will stay in the list of the richest people in the world, or he won't. Only time can tell.